Okay, now this doesn't happen much, but I'm ready to change a long position. TE30, only 30 accounts in there, right? I only invest in those 30. And so I've got my watch list. There's things that I like, but it takes a lot to push something out of the TE30. Ironically, we posted about the TE30 last week. I showed you all my accounts, and I'm going to push somebody out. So Affirm, it's the buy now, pay later. I already let you know I love financial technology. I love the fintech space. I think there's a huge movement towards eliminating or moving away from like the brick and mortars and digitizing or kind of building this digital financial world. And so I love the fintech. I think there's a huge movement there in the fintech space. And Affirm is one that I've been keeping an eye on. We actually, my family, we got our Peloton through Affirm. Could have utilized the funds to buy it. Fortunately, and I'll cover this a lot during the budgeting conversations. Fortunately, I don't typically buy things that I don't have money for. It's not my goal. However, we were offered a deal essentially at a zero kind of a cost to roll into Affirm our Peloton purchase, and over the next 24 months just pay it off and maintain cash flow. At the time, really was looking at that cash flow consideration, was looking at the Affirm, wanted to kind of see what the experience was like. So we went ahead and just did Peloton on Affirm, and every month they just take out the amount needed on our monthly payments, and we have our Peloton at the house, and we're riding and we're enjoying it, and the experience has been all in all pretty good. Not perfect, right? We had to get back and forth on a couple of questions that they had from the Affirm side, but it was a good experience. And now that it's in place, rinse and repeat, monthly payments, we got our bike, and I was able to hold on to cash flow. There's a huge movement towards the buy now, pay later type of prospects. Square, when they made their acquisition of a similar company, their stock really reacted positively. So I've been keeping an eye on Affirm, and sometimes you're gonna miss the short-term spikes, right? And Affirm is currently going through a huge short-term spike because it was announced over the weekend that Affirm and Amazon are creating a partnership, and Affirm is now going to be available for any Amazon purchases, I believe over $50. Crazy. If there's any e-commerce company to partner with, it's Amazon. There's nobody pushes e-commerce like Amazon. I like what this is going to do to Affirm. Affirm is up 40% today. Obviously, I would have loved to have had that 40% along the way. That is the way it is. So now the look is, okay, from long term, if Affirm has a strong partnership with Amazon, their next couple of quarters are going to look way better than the previous quarters. We're going to see a spike. A gradual and consistent improvement would at least be my theory. And if it goes very well, I think Affirm becomes an extremely attractive acquisition, whether that be Amazon or if a company wants to come in and buy a firm and keep it in the Amazon partnership. I was interested to see that Amazon partnered with them as opposed to building it themselves, which makes me think maybe it's a potential acquisition. I don't know, but this is where you kind of think of your Dumb and Dumber moments, right? Where, if you remember Dumb and Dumber from back in the day, right? There's that they're at dinner with the bad guy, and the bad guy invites them or challenges them to eat the spicy food, and they have like a horrible experience with it. The ketchup and the mustard's in the air, and they're just trying to cool off their mouths, right? And then they think they're gonna play a similar trick on the bad guy, and they put all of his like vitamins, what they think are like his vitamins, on his burger, and he eats it, ends up being rat poison. He's on the ground, but they're like, and they're there grabbing his legs, right? And they're like pushing in on him. In with the good, out with the bad. In with the good, out with the bad. So here's Affirm, in with the firm, right? Out. Now this is the decision where you have to pick who's coming out, right? Out with the bad. I'm gonna go with Hood. I like Robinhood from a platform standpoint. Again, I think they're onto something, and I'm going to keep them in my watch list, especially if they can move into other derivative type of fintech kind of roles. But I'm gonna move them out and keep Sophie in. Now I do have a couple of short positions with Hood, so those short positions will just stay there. We'll get the notices, and once those short positions sell, then we won't buy any more Hood from a short term or long term until we're ready to kick somebody out. But let's go get Affirm. Let's see what that partnership with Amazon can do in the long term.